Alright, the Polini motor is back together. This is the reason why I tore it down a month after getting it running. Two major upgrades I wanted to do. First off, the ignition, as you can see. I have the HPI programmable ignition on there now. It is quite a bit larger than even the KTM 50. So you have to clearance about 1/4 inch of the whole case. I threw it in fixture, milled it down, clearance that out, have to notch it over there a little bit. Magnet is quite a bit larger, so it sticks out more, which is why I had to move the clutch to the other side, but I'll get into that in a second. I did go from a 12 tooth to a 14 tooth sprocket, so now it's going to be geared to do about 80. See how it likes. I'll consider this like a mid-range gearing. Last run it was geared to only do 70, but it got there super fast. Stretching its legs a little bit, now I got to set up to do 80. This is the programmable CDI that I'm now running. It plugs in through USB on here, so I can hook it up to my computer and set the exact timing within 1/4 of a degree at whatever RPM I want. I think it's like 200 RPM intervals from idle all the way up to whatever. So that's really cool. I can optimize my low end and my top end. Right now I'm copying the Polini Racing CDI map that I found online. Only difference being I pulled 2 degrees of timing across the board because I'm running pump gas, and that's recommended for 93. So second thing I did was the Powerjet. I have a Thunder Racing adjustable Powerjet now that I drilled and tapped into the top of the PWK Polini carb. Instead of running it straight from the bowl, I actually on my lathe made a deep well nut. This is hollow, so it fills with fuel, and the Powerjet can get its own fuel supply without fighting for the main jet on that one. This is going to be used right now. I have the carb jetted for just regular NA jetting. The Powerjet is only going to be adding fuel above about 80% throttle because that's in preparation for a nitrous setup. I want to be able to run it NA without losing any power. Then I just flip a switch to go to a map with some timing pulled, turn a knob to add however much fuel I need, which I'll know once I experiment, and then boom, I got extra fuel, lower timing. I could run spray. If I want to go back to regular, it takes 30 seconds. Close the knob, hit a button, back to regular tune. Clutch, I moved to the right side. This is based on a prototype I had a while back. I liked it on the left side because the case is recessed and it kept it way tighter to the motor, but with this magnet I would have to space it out so far it's not worth it. So I moved it to the right side, cut and trimmed the billet case cover for it. I replaced the giant 3D Motorsports clutch guard rotation bracket with one I made. I just welded up a quick cheap one and then hit it with some paint. My TIG is out of argon, so I just used a flux core and grounded it down. It's ugly, but it works. This is how the 3DM setup actuates the clutch. This outer piece gets held, this inner piece pulls when it turns, and that's what actuates the springs inside, this rotational. There's BBs on ramps in here, and the ramp is what pushes when it opens up like that. But the motor's done, ready to go back on the case. All I have to do is mod the frame, move the chainstay over a little bit for some chain clearance, and it will be back running, ready to go with the programmable ignition, clutch move to the right, Powerjet. I have the dyno set up. I just did a video on the dyno. Unfortunately, this motor I can't put on the dyno because my pump is good for about 25 horsepower. This should make about 30. I don't want to mess anything up on that side, but once I upgrade the pump, I'll get this guy on the dyno as well. But I am getting close to having this back on the road again, guys. I can't wait.